What's up, Tiny Track Crew? We are back for another DIECAST racing spectacle. It is the Nissan team versus the Honda team. Who are you rooting for? Who do you think will come out on top on this one? We have 8 Nissans racing against 8 Hondas, 2 in each group. The 2 fastest cars from each group will move on to the next round, and the winner at the end will become the champion of all. In group number 1, we have a Nissan Silvia S15, an R32 in white, an EG Civic in black representing Team Honda, and a Honda Civic SI in beautiful orange. Let me tell you, that is a beautiful orange. If you are playing in fantasy.tinytrackcars.com, you could be earning points if your picks hit the podium, climb the leaderboard. It's free to play. Head on over. The link is in the video description. Why the heck aren't you playing? They're into that camera turn there. Beautiful. The EG hits the jump first. Who is going to come out on top in this group? We Team Nissan, are we Team Honda? Let me know in the comments who you're rooting for. I know there's a lot of R34 fans out there. We do have a couple R34s in this tournament. We have a crazy big jump at the finish line. The EG goes up on his roof. Let's take a look at that from the slow motion cam. Jump. This is the first time we're seeing this crazy big jump. Look at that camera view. Oh, and the spectators still get taken out. We'll look at that from the aerial view, finish line camera. EG hatchback rolls over, crosses the finish line. Honda, Nissan, and the S13 is back there, smashed into people. There is blood everywhere. Those people might not make it because we don't have a medical crew. They're not on payroll. Because you haven't subscribed and watched a bunch of videos, and my ad revenue isn't high enough to pay for the payroll of the medical crew. So, but right now we're just going raw. No medical crew. Hopefully everyone is okay. You might want to back away from the finish line there. S13 up on the side. He's able to save it, but it's the R32, who we know is actually really good out here on the track. But over the jump they go. R32 off the track. It's the SI and the EG across the finish line again. Let's watch that epic jump. Huge air by the R32, but he jumps a little bit to the left and lands in a pile of people. And again, we have, oh my gosh. That person got hit onto the track and then hit by another vehicle. And this is a lady just holding onto the guardrail for dear life, facing the opposite direction. What is she doing? There's people on the ground. Get over there and help out. Get the AED. I don't know what that's going to help, but we do have an AED right inside that WRC building on the right-hand side of wall. If you ever needed the AED, that is where it is located. Check for a pulse first. All right. Down into the next race we go. It is the Civic SI in orange hitting the jump first. Ooh, that R32 trying to get in the inside of the EG. Team Nissan is not looking so good in this one. Team Honda is looking pretty good. SI and EG across the finish line. Civic, and then Nissan. That EG just likes to show off and do barrel rolls. I think that hatchback rear end kicks off that jump and throws him forward every time he gets the big air. But look at that big air by the SI. He lands on his wheels, crosses the finish line. S13 back there, barely making it over the jump in reverse, getting a little bit of air and rolling his way across the finish line. But more importantly, nobody was injured in this race. 3 races in, and it is the orange Civic out in front, followed by the green Civic. I don't think mathematically the other 2 Civics can come back, even if they get first and second place. Sorry, the Nissans. The Nissans can't come back. The Civics have already clinched their spot in the next round. 2 Nissans will be going home. 2 Hondas will be staying in this first round. But still, folks, anything can happen. We still have 3 groups to go. We still have some cars to introduce. We do have some R34 Skylines. Stick around to the end to see who wins, Nissan or Honda. I know you're invested in one of them. For me, it's Team Honda because I've been a Honda boy since I was a young lad. EG flipping over again and across the finish line. That seems to be his signature move, but he's fast on the rest of the track, so as long as he can keep it on the wheels for most of the track, down across the finish line he goes, keeping that car in first place, taking 5 more points. Wow, what a crazy move. It seems like he does it every time. R32's on his roof, and the Civic on his roof, barely crossing the finish line. That wraps up group number 1. I hope no one was too upset that the R32 and the S13 went home. 2 Hondas hit the next group. We move those in the bracket, and then we meet group number 2. right now. Starting up group number 2, we have the R30, Nissan Skyline R30. Beautiful red and black dual paint job. And then a crowd favorite right here in this tournament is the R34 Skyline. And then we have a Honda Civic Si, which is the EP3. And then my personal favorite in this whole entire tournament is the Honda S2000. As you guys know, I'm an S2000 fan. I collect S2000s. I've had a couple in real life. I want to get another one in real life when this channel blows up. You know what I'm saying? All right, subscribe, share this, turn on notifications. We need more viewers. But honestly, if you're listening, I just appreciate you being here. And that's all. Thank you. Honda's out front again. EP3 leading the pack. S2000 right behind. Over the jump they go. Whoa! They bounce a little sideways, but they're able to correct it. R30 in third and R34 coming across in fourth place. That's not what you R34 fans want to see from an R34, but that's what happened. But they do rotate one position clockwise each and every race. All of these cars will have a chance at the pole position, both on the left and right-hand side. We don't actually know which one the real pole position is, because the right lane might be faster than the left lane, because the left lane goes from the inside to the outside, and they both take a 90-degree turn, and I don't know physics that well, so I'm not sure which lane really has an advantage. But I will tell you, the advantage right now goes to the Hondas, but they slide to the back of the pack. They have 2 red Nissans right in front of them, standing in their way. They do the over-under switcheroo, bitcheroo. I just made up a word, bitcheroo. The cameraman does a little something funky, a.k.a. the gimbal malfunctions just slightly. I don't know why I did that. R34 out in front. S2000 trying to battle against the R34. What's going to happen as they go down to the jump? R34 massive air, lands it and crosses the finish line. The R34 takes 5 points in race number 2. R34 fans are jumping out of their pants. They're jumping off the couch. They're jumping around screaming. They're really, really happy. Yes, they are. They got 5 points, and if you pick that car in the fantasy league, you might be looking at a podium. Yeah. I'm not going to quit my day job. That was my rapping skills right there, you know what I'm saying? All right, they rotate positions again. R34 in the right lane, S2000 in the left lane. Who's going to make it to the jump first? It's a drag race, the over-under. S2000's out first. He takes the inside lane here, but he's got the outside lane in the next 90. S2000 out in front by a lot. EP3 even in front of the R32. Wow, both Hondas out front again. Are all the Hondas going to move on? Are we going to have a 4-car semifinal on this hand side of the bracket of all Hondas? We find out. S2000 clean jump, lands it, doesn't hurt anybody. All drivers come across the finish line unhurt, except the rollover there. But we have full roll cages in these cars, and they're required to wear helmets, which are certified to save your brains from splattering if you roll over and slide down the track. That was a nasty crash. He landed on his tires and popped right to his roof. That could break a neck, or a finger, or a wrist if you're holding on the steering wheel. That's why I always tell you to let go of the steering wheel when you're about to crash in driving school. They rotate again, and the S2000 is out in front. EP3 is to his right. Who's going to make it to the jump first? It looks like the EP3. S2000 inches out a little bit ahead. R34 trying to get past that Civic Si. Civic Si spins around as a full 360 and heads his way back on the track. Here goes the S2000. Another perfect landing. EP3 across the finish line. Then Nissan. I haven't looked at the scores lately, folks, but I don't think the Nissans have scored very well. I think the Hondas have outperformed the Nissans yet again. It may be 2 Hondas moving on. We take a look at the scoreboard right now after we show you 12 slow motion replays, because we like to see the big air right here by the S2000 clearing that fenced area, landing on that downslope right at the end of the merge. We'll see if anyone can jump that line. After the track goes back down to the skinnier track, we'll see if anyone clear that line and flat land that turn. All right, yeah, I was correct. It is 2 Hondas moving on to the next round. The S2000 joined by the Honda Civic Si, a.k.a. EP3, a.k.a. K20A3. First car, I think the first car had the K20 in it, the K20A3 in America. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that might have been the first Civic with a K series. Okay, another R34 in group number 3. It is the Gran Turismo R34. We have an R33, beautiful R33. I love that R33. I think I like R33s and R32s better than R34s, but that's because I just don't want to jump on the bandwagon. We have an EK9 in this group. We have another red Honda Civic Si racing against the R34 and the R33. R34 up on the side tires a little bit as he goes through that over-under section super fast. Gets a little bit of air as they go down into the lane section. He drifts. R33 pushes his way through. R34 is trying to spin back around and get control of the car. Let's see what happens here as we approach the next turn. Bobbing and weaving off each other. The EK hatch sees the gap and does a double pass. He passes the R33. He passes the R32. What an amazing pass. He goes up and over the jump. R34 off the track, and the Honda Civic Si, I think, crosses the finish line in front of the R33. What an amazing race. What a lot to unpack there, folks. We have the EK9 making a double pass. The R34 in reverse looks like he's gaining on the EK9, but flies off and kills some people. And then the red Honda Civic crosses the finish line in front of the R33. Wow. There you have it. There's a man underneath that spoiler, and it looks like a man underneath that track, and that lady is still just sitting there holding on to the guardrail, despite a Honda, a WRX, a Subaru WRX, backed into her. She's just not phased. But we head back to the starting line. Everyone is okay after that because this is diecast racing and no real people get injured in this racing. The only people that do get injured is when you comment in my videos and tell me that I'm not a good commentator, and that really hurts my feelings. I had to take a moment because I actually don't care. I love this stuff. I'm bringing out my natural personality in my racing, in my commentary, and it's not for everybody. I understand that, but I'm Nick, and I'm weird, and I like diecast racing, and this is the way I'm doing it. I'm not copying other channels. I'm being original and doing it in my own way. So if you appreciate that, we'd love to have you stick around. Hopefully there's millions of people like you. If you don't like it, you don't have to watch. I'm not forcing you to watch this race. If you don't like it, you can mute it. Turn the audio off and just watch the racing. If you don't like the racing because it's not in a full diorama, don't watch the racing. Or you can get in the TTC crew and become part of the crew and go join the Fantasy Diecast Racing League at fantasy.tinytrackcars.com. Look at that R34 making a move on the inside of the Civic. Finally, a Nissan is making a move. But seriously, for the people who are here week to week watching these premieres with us and watching my content over and over again, thank you so much. And I can't ignore that an R34 just jumped and hit a flag and then bounced back onto the track and then got hit by a Civic and then crossed the finish line. What did I just watch? Will that go down in one of the top TTC moments right here? We're going to watch it a third time from this camera. He jumps, he hits that building square, lands back on the track, gets hit by a Civic, and both of them cross the finish line. He's able to stay in front of the Civic. We're going to watch it one more time from the finish line cam. Watch this R34 jump completely over that guardrail, hits the building, gets hit by his Civic. That Civic stops in his tracks. He goes from going about 120 miles per hour to about 4, and then rolls over and crosses the finish line. The EK9 gets a DNF. Looking good for Team Nissan. The R33 is out front with 12 points. I believe he's clinched his spot in the next round. Who will be joining him? That beautiful Gran Turismo R34. He's in the back of the pack. R33 will be moving on. Who will be joining him? The red Honda Civic is out in front. He's looking like he might get 5 points unless one of these Nissans can run him down. R33 is making a stab at it, but the Honda Civic rolls over. He's on his roof. He takes a jump on his roof. The R33 tries to make the pass. Did the R33 get by in time? Let's watch that again. Wow, the vision gets blurry there. Maybe he couldn't see. Maybe there was a raindrop. It's not even raining. What am I talking about? And then they slide across the finish line. What an amazing, and believe it or not, nobody, I don't think anybody on the side of the track got injured. Watch closely. Did anyone get touched? I don't think anyone on the side of the track got touched, which is a miracle. Those people just need to step back. Moving on with 15 points, it is the R33 Skyline, joined by the red Honda Civic. Beautiful livery paint job on that Civic there with those gold wheels. Sending home the EK9, sending home the R34. In this group, we have an R32 with a crazy cool body kit and an orange and silver two-tone paint job. And then we have Godzilla himself, the GTR. And then we have a Honda CRX. And then we have a Honda Prelude. So no more Civics in this group, no more R34s. We have an R32, a R35. Oh gosh, are they even R35s? Are they the Nissan GTR? I don't even. We get in this argument every single time there's one of these in the race. I'm sure someone's gonna let me know in the comments. It's not an R35. It's this. It's this. Well, I'm gonna call it a Nissan GTR. But whoa, the CRX lands on the safety fence and rolls over to his roof. Will he be able to finish this race on his roof? It is the R32. I actually really like that. Oh, R32. Oh my gosh. Oh, ow. Oh. Whoa. Watch this. Clean jump. That's the first time we've seen someone go off the right-hand side of the track. He smashes into the grandstands, folks. There is about 24 people in those grandstands. He smashes into the grandstands. The CRX does finish despite being on his roof the whole entire race. Watch this R32. He's out of control, up and over, smashes into the grandstands, and takes out. That is a perfect strike. He took out every single photographer on the right-hand side of the track, including Megan the reporter, the videographer, and every single photographer. And we totally missed the other car, the Prelude, going off the left side and finally taking out the girl holding onto the handrail. She's down, and she needs medical attention. Her head is bleeding. Just kidding, it's a diecast figure. But it's pretty gory when you think about it, because we had the splats and the screams. It sounds like someone's really getting hurt. And it's just all in fun, guys. We're all having fun here. I love taking the time and standing those people back up with my fingers every single time the cars ram into them. I secretly am like, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. And then it splats. I'm like, cool. That's going to be awesome to watch back. Oh, the GTR on the inside of the R32 making an epic move. It's Team Nissan out in front way early. Oh, my God. Oh, my gosh. Oh, we gotta have to cut for a break. We're going to have to look at that flag. We're going to need to super glue that thing back on. Let's watch that there from the finish line cam. We need to figure out something better. We need some better safety fences, some higher safety fences to keep these cars contained a little better. Who votes for higher safety fences, or who votes for keeping it as is? The GTR has splat. How are those people standing up still? He must have just taken out the flag, and nobody got hurt. I don't know how. We have a pretty close race. The Honda out front, CRX out front with 6, 2 Nissans with 5 and 5. We're into the next race we go. Still anyone's game. The Prelude in the front right now. He's going to hit this 180 soonest, and hit the jump soonest, and also lead the pack. But here comes the Nissan GTR in beautiful silver. That is a Liberty Walk GTR. Looking fly out there. Prelude down over the jump. Can he hold on to it? Prelude sticks to landing, and we have more casualties on the side of the track. Look out, everybody. Watch that CRX fly. He has one man still standing. You did not get the bonus points for taking out every single photographer. Prelude almost takes out everybody. But the people get saved by that safety fence. So thank God we have safety fences. Watch this right here. Watch the Prelude. Almost lands on those people. The CRX does the job of. We do a freeze frame. I'm not sure if we're freeze framing the people getting smashed or the close finish between the other two cars. I think it was the close finish, but either way, the CRX was off the track. That car gets 0 points. Again, folks, if you're playing in the DIECAST Fantasy League, you get to pick 3 points. 3 points. You get to pick 3 cars every single week in our races. And if your picks get the podium, you earn points and climb the leaderboard at fantasy.tinytrackcars.com. It's free to play. You earn points. You can add friends. You get to build out your virtual car garage by collecting tokens. And did I mention it's free to play? And it gets you more invested in these races. So go on over. The link is in the video description. Get signed up for our Fantasy League. We have a premiere every Friday night at 5 p.m. Pacific time. Sometimes we have 50-some people in the premiere. It is a hoot in the live chat, and we want to see you there. So get signed up. Come to our premieres. Get invested in TTC. We want to see your face more often. Prelude does another rail slide. Honda across the finish line. Somehow, the R32 was able to hold on to it and cross the finish line. Folks, the Prelude moves on, and the Nissan GTR R35. G35 Infinity. All right, folks, so we have 2 Nissans. Only 2 Nissans moved on. That means 6 Hondas moved on. We head back over to the left-hand side of the bracket where we have 4 Hondas battling for their spot in the finals. 2 of these cars will head to the finals. Will it be the Honda Civic? EG? Will it be the Honda Civic Si EP3? Or will it be the Honda Civic Si in orange, which is an EM1? No. Is that that EM1 style? Or is it the S2000, which just has an S2000? It's just, there's no, I guess it is AP1 and AP2s, but just, oh! Speaking of that EG hatch, always wanting to flip over end, forward, he tries to do it again. This time, he's not so fortunate and does not land on the track. He takes out that Monster Energy flag banner has just taken a beating. Recently, I have re-glued it back to its base, and I hope the tree in the corner is also leaning. That was been re-glued since as well. But speaking of diorama, have you guys seen Popcorn Pete? We have added the side quest every single race. We move Popcorn Pete around the track, and it is your job to somehow find Popcorn Pete in the audience, on the track, or around this room. Sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's hard, but let me know in the comments when you find Popcorn Pete. You don't have to tell anyone where he is. Just let me know that you found Popcorn Pete. EG, over, ow! Rest in peace. That guy's dead. He launches the man onto the track. The man is sitting there past the finish line, and then he gets his head smashed by a Honda Civic. What in the world is going on? We don't want to watch it again. Why are we watching another view of this man getting killed? Well, here we go. No, don't watch it. Cut. Please cut the camera. Oh, gosh. Maybe he just got his head grazed. Maybe it was just his toupee. But he's probably already dead from the EG landing on him. Let's be honest. And there's a bunch of other casualties. But this guy still held on to his beer. Luckily, that man was able to hold on to his 5-pack or whatever that is in his hands. He's going to be okay. But the guy in the track is definitely dead. All right, we head back up to the top. They rotate one positions again. This S2000 moves into the front left, which slides over to the front right and takes the inside on the 180. I believe the outside lane might be a little bit quicker in here because you get the inside on the 180 there. S2000 out front. EG can't land the jump. He's having a really hard time with those jumps this race. Just pure speed isn't going to get you the finals, folks. You got to land those jumps. S2000 off the track. Crossing the finish line, it's the EP3 first. And then the Honda Civic Si. Huge air. Huge air for the S2000. We need to add in the big air bonus. And by the big air bonus, I mean you get free cotton candy from the concession stand if you can jump that line. That is the big air bonus because we're not keeping extra points for big air. S2000 upside down. Good thing he has a roll cage. There is that security officer checking on that lady who's face down, butt up, with her briefcase under her arm. Into the last race of this group we go. Who will move on and claim the next spot, the only spots, the 2 spots remaining in the finals? Will it be yellow? Will it be black? Will it be orange? Or will it be silver? S2000 again over the jump first. Just being out front does not win races, folks. You have to get down into this turn straight, across this jump, and across the finish line straight. It's the S2000 with 5 points. The orange Civic Si taking 3 points because their point system is 5 points for first, 3 points for second, 2 for third, and 1 for fourth. And we all know if you smash some people and do not finish, you get 0. Can you get the big air bonus and still kill people? Maybe. Somehow, even with the DNF, the S2000 moves on to the finals. Joining him is the orange Honda Civic Si. We head over to the right-hand side of the bracket where there is 2 Nissans racing 2 Hondas. So far, we have 2 Hondas in the finals, but still Nissan is not out of it. This R33 is fast, and this Nissan GTR Liberty Walk has proven to be fast as well. We have 2 Hondas, a Civic and a Prelude, versus 2 Nissans, an R33 and a GTR. R33 over the jump first. That black beauty is absolutely flying out there. Here comes the Honda Civic, red in reverse. There's a clump of cars. Oh no, the R33's off the track. GTR crosses the finish line first, and then comes the 2 Hondas. It was a big red blur. I don't know who was able to cross the finish line first. GTR, looks like maybe the Prelude. Let's watch that from the finish line cam for you. maybe freeze frame it, maybe slow it down. Just keep an eye on those two cars. Also keep an eye on the people that got killed in the sidelines. I think the Civic might have won it. The Prelude passed immediately after. We're going to take one more look at that. Not the injuries, but this shot right here. And I believe right there, we freeze frame it. And upside down, the Honda Civic takes second place. And then the fence gets broken. And I think the security guard's still checking that lady who's now down behind. I think they're not just laying on the ground together. I think it was because of the accident. I don't want to assume they're doing anything dirty back there. They rotate one position. Again, the Nissans are out front in the pole positions. They are down into the jump. Who's going to make it to the jump first? The R33. It seems like the GTR was too slow into that turn. He's lost a lot of speed there. Down to the last one they go. Can the R33 keep it on the track this time? He checks sideways. It does keep it on the track. Civic flies off the track and then gets a little help from the rest of the competition. It seems like the R33 was a little bit out of control. He checked himself sideways to regain some speed to make sure he stayed on the track and crossed the finish line in first place. But we can't say the same for that Civic. The Civic flies off the track, hits the fence, hits a tree, and then gets hit by a GTR and crosses the finish line in second place still. 2 races down, and it's still anyone's game. We have a 5, 6, 7, 3 score going on. They're out of there for race number 3. Nissan in the far lane now, was in the close lane. Who's going to make it to the jump first? It might be the silver car. It's the Prelude. And then the silver GTR trying to make the inside. Gets helped by the R33. R33 trying to get by the GTR. Does not make it by. It's the Prelude. Down across the finish line. Lands a jump after some big air. R33 off the track. Oh, no. That is not good to see. There's the big air by the Prelude. Big air by the GTR. Across the finish line goes the Civic. And the R33 is off the track. And no points are awarded to that car. Unfortunately, the flag is down. The tree is hit. Oh no, the people have been cleared out of that section for their own good, for their own safety. But everyone else over there, you're still in danger. And if you're on the right-hand side of the track, the finish line, very much in danger. So, continue at your own risk. These cars rotate one position clockwise. It's the Hondas out in front. The big red Honda blur. Here comes the red Civic over the jump, showing some speed that we haven't seen before in him. R33 spins out of nowhere, spins back around. Now his approach to the Civic. Civic down over the jump sideways. Oh no, he's able to save it. R33 finally makes a clean pass over the jump and across the finish line for 3 points, but it's 5 points for the red Honda Civic. What does that mean for the score right here after 4 races in this final right-hand side semi-final group thing? Who's going to go to the finals? That's what we want to know. Is it going to be a Nissan? Is it going to be a Honda? Or are the Hondas taking over the tournament? We have one Nissan, folks. The one Nissan GTR Liberty Walk does make it to the finals. Nissan still has a 25% chance of making the finals. That Honda Prelude was not supposed to move. Go back, Prelude. Go back where you came from. You are not allowed in the finals. Good thing we know who made it, which is the silver Nissan GTR. All right, we have 2 Civics, an orange and a red one, an S2000, and a Nissan who's bringing up the rear. Not a good start from Nissan. S2000 out in front early. Civic SI in orange right behind him. Here comes the red Civic. Red Civic makes a pass. What a great pass there by the red Civic. Watch him on the outside. He gets a little bit of boost from that GTR. GTR decides to draft his way through as well. Gets by the orange Civic. And the GTR tries to dive bomb inside of the red Civic. S2000 off the track. No, you hate to see that happen right in the finals, but driving in reverse gets you that. The red Civic does hit some spectators, but keeps his car on the track. Maybe they were crowd surfing and they were able to launch him back onto the track. Let's watch that again from this camera. Nope, he was not crowd surfing. He just bashed straight into them. 0 points for the S2000. He will park that thing right there next to that beautiful tree, which is protecting the corner of that building. We need more trees on these dioramas for sure. They rotate one position clockwise. The S2000 slides to the back of the pack now. It is the Honda Civics out front. both the red one and the orange one. The red one is the inside. The red one did not seem that fast through the whole entire series, and now he's looking like it's a new guy out there, a new driver. Did we put a new driver in this car? Did we give it some race gas? What is going on? Red Civic over the jump he goes, lands it smooth, and crosses the finish line for 5 more points. Those kind of clean runs are what wins you championships. Flying off of the track does not win you anything, except for body counts. And I hope none of these drivers are keeping body count tallies, because that is just sick. This isn't Dexter Morgan. All right. The 10 points that have gone to this red Civic put him out in front, and he's still in the front right lane. He will slide to the front left. The Nissan and the S2000 will get ahead of him into this 180-degree turn. The 180-degree turn. But the Civic gets by the S2000. Civic trying to get by the Nissan. Nissan surges ahead with a Honda's pile up in the back like a sack of potatoes. Over the jump they go. Nissan riding the 50-50 grind. Oh no! It's a Honda mayhem. That's usually Mustang mayhem, but Hondas have came down with the Mustang disease. Red one off the track, S2000 off the track, then back on the track, gets hit by the orange one, and who crosses the finish line first between the two of those cars? I don't even know. We'll have to cut that to the finish line cam and hopefully freeze frame that so you can see if the S2000 or the orange Civic took the win. Fancy move there by the Nissan GTR. S2000 off the track, S2000 back on the track, and who finishes first? What? Seriously, who finished first? We're going to slow it down for you again and freeze frame it because it's going to be close. Here we go. Slow motion. And I believe right there, the wing of the Civic crossed the finish line plane first, and the Civic will get second place, and the S2000 will get third place. The red Civic DNFs. We have a tie at 10 points for first place by the Prelude, who's dressed up like a GTR. Or is it a GTR that looks like a Prelude on this? Anyways, we already know that it's not the Prelude out there, it's the GTR out there. There is still one Nissan holding the pack up, and he flies in front of the S2000. It's not over yet for Team Nissan, ladies and gentlemen. He surges out in front, down towards the finish, and he goes clean jump over the track. What does this mean? Did he pass the finish line? Oh my gosh, we have a pile up between this GTR and the S2000, who might have sabotaged him. That move in the air, the S2000 came in too hot, trying to make the alley-oop, Bay City blooper over top of him, clips him, launches him off the track, and I don't think that GTR crossed the finish line. I believe the S2000 did cross the finish line and took 5 points. Oh my gosh, Lando's still up, but the Crazy Canuck and the Pity the Fool food truck have taken a beating. Whoa, we have a 3-way tie between not the Prelude, it's the GTR, the red Civic, and the S2000. The orange Civic will be eliminated. In this, the battle for the podium especially matters if you're playing at fantasy.tandytrackcars.com. We will run 3 races, rotating these cars each race. They'll get 3 for first, 2 for second, and 1 for third place, and 0 if the DNF. What a great pass there by the red Civic, making a move on the S2000. That's what wins championships, ladies and gentlemen, making moves like that in the final tiebreaker, the final hour, the final minutes, the final... Dang, that's good. And he crosses the finish line after landing the jump. What an amazing pass. What an amazing finish by the red Civic. He came out of nowhere. I did not expect that Civic to make it this far in this competition, let alone make passes like that in the finals. The tiebreaker, the Hail Mary, this one win it all. One win to win it all. One ring, I don't know. He's got 3 points. He's doing good, is what I'm trying to say. Good job, Civic. There is only one Civic in this group, and it's the red one. There is an S2000, and there is a Nissan. They rotate one position clockwise. Nissan on the inside now. Nissan's going to take the 180. Can he gain an advantage on these Hondas? Nissan falls behind. Nissan, we know, is faster in the open track, I believe. But in that lane section, he has a little bit of rub issues. Here he comes, gaining on the S2000, but it's the red Civic on his roof. Red Civic on his roof. Not good for the points leader. Across the finish line, I believe he's able to hold on to it despite being on his roof. S2000 and the GTR slide upside down, inside out, living the Villa Loca. It's still the Civic across the finish line for 5 points. Just kidding, it's 3 points because we're scoring this differently. 6 points. The Civic is looking good. The Civic has 6 points. The S2000 has 4, and the GTR cannot physically, by points, beat the Civic, but the S2000 can. If the Civic might fly off the track, he could get past the S2000 if the S2000 takes first. Anything can happen right here in the finals, folks. The S2000 has nobody in front of him, and he's showing him who the fastest car on the track is. The Civic's getting held up behind GTR. S2000 over the jump. S2000 off the track. Oh no! GTR across the finish line first, and the Civic second. S2000 blows it again. What massive air. He might have crossed that break and flat landed that if he was able to keep that thing on the track. Let's watch this massive air by this S2000. Up and over. Dang, he lands directly on the WRX. GTR across the finish line. Civic across the finish line. And for the points, we have the Honda Civic in red taking 9 points in first place. The Nissan GTR, which is not a prelude, taking second. And the S2000 taking third, which I'm not happy with, but I'll still take a podium with the S2000. Congratulations to the Honda Civic Si. Congratulations to you guys if you were playing in our Fantasy League and earned points. Thank you so much. If you want to watch more of my videos here at Tiny Track Cars, click that box right in the middle of your screen. Binge watch all the content. Do whatever you want or leave. I don't care. Actually, I do. I really do care. I appreciate you guys. Until next time, stay tuned, stay passionate, and get ready for more exciting moments right here on the track.